Welcome back to another episode of Sofa Sessions. This is your boy, SatsB, and today we're invited to the home of an important artist. We're all the way downtown in Toronto, and her journey started in Kolkata, and then it went to Bangalore, then it went into Canada, and somewhere along the line, we met during the worst time in humanity, the pandemic. And I met her as Anna, who came on Sofa Sessions, all digital, and crushed it. And since then, I've been a fan, we've been following, and her band showed up at Daisy Fest. And now, today, you're gonna meet the artist formerly known as Anna, today, Nishat, and it's gonna be a fantastic show. Bollywood, Gazal, Adele mixed into this mix. You gotta have a nice cup of tea, sit down, and enjoy the show. And we'll be right back.
फिर ले आया दिल मजबूर क्या कीजिए रास ना आए रहना दूर क्या कीजिए दिल कह रहा उसे मुकम्मल कर भी आओ वो जो अधूरी सी बात बाकी है वो जो अधूरी सी बात बाकी है आज कबूल क्या कीजिए हो गई थी जो हमसे भूल क्या कीजिए हो दिल कह रहा उसे मयस्सर कर भी आओ वो जो दबी सी आस बाकी है वो जो दबी सी आँच बाकी है वो जो दबी सी आँच बाकी है मोरा साइयाँ मोसे बोले ना मोरा साइयाँ मोसे बोले ना मैं लाख जतन कर हार रही लाख जतन कर हार रही मोरा साइयाँ मोसे बोले ना मोरा साइयाँ मोसे बोले ना सावन भी तो जाए पिहरवा सावन भी तो जाए पिहरवा मन मेरा घबराए मन मेरा घबराए ऐसो गए पर पिया क्यों ऐसो गए परदेस पिया क्यों चैन हमें नहीं आए चैन हमें नहीं आए मोरा saiyaan mose bole na mora saiyaan mose bole na वो जो अधूरी सी याद बाकी है वो जो अधूरी सी बात बाकी है
For a year, I depended on my disability benefits. When the insurance company cut me off, they were basically calling me a liar. They wouldn't even listen to my doctor. But then I called Share Lawyers. I got my benefits, and the Share team was kind, respectful, and supportive. And that's how it should be. The reviews are real. If you've been denied your long-term disability benefits, Share is there. Call Share Lawyers, 888-225-9020.
Welcome to Sofa Sessions, Season 3. How are you?
I am good.
So, we met during the pandemic,
Yes.
and I said, hey, would you like to sing on
Yep.
Facebook Live?
Yep.
And you were like, I don't have any equipment.
Yep. Yep, I remember
And
that.
I was like, doesn't matter.
I did
Just-
not have a sofa for the sofa session.
Right?
Yep.
Nor mics or mixers.
Yeah.
I think you just turned on Facebook.
I did. Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
went live.
Yeah.
And then you just sang.
That's it. That's
And we
the
had
story.
like, I think 300 people watching.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was very new and everybody was doing virtual. And I remember Karthik had introduced me to you.
Right.
And I dropped an email to Desi Fest, and then we had a small chat that, you know, this is the idea, how we are doing it. And then I explained I don't have a sofa for the sofa session. You were like, you know, that's fine. Let's just go ahead with it. And then I sang, and the response was good. And I was feeling so good that, you know, even if it's virtual, I get to do something that I love.
Right.
And after that, I think you called me up and then we discussed some music. And then 3 years later, here I am.
Here we are. And
I
it
know.
doesn't feel like 3 years ago.
It doesn't, right?
You know, I still remember
Yeah.
Karthik was like, hey man, I work with this person.
Yeah.
And she's an incredible singer. And you
He
should
did.
and I was like, who's this person you're working with? And like, how
Yeah.
come I've never heard of this person?
Yeah.
And then I checked you out on Instagram and I realized,
did.
ooh, you're a singer.
Yeah.
You play the guitar. You
That's right.
play the keys.
Mm.
You sing in multiple languages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, So
Good work.
let's rewind time. Let's rewind time for our viewers and help us understand
Yeah.
you know, the origin story of Nishat.
So I come from Calcutta, India. It's a city very rich in culture, music, and you know, dance, art, and everything. And my parents early on were super excited about me singing. So initially it was basically them forcing me to learn Hindustani classical, but then you know, I realized how much I love it, and then I just kept going. So it was a very gradual process of you know, one thing leading to another. Like even now when I think sometimes that, did I really have a turning point in life where I was like, you know, I woke up one morning and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to sing in front of 100 people today because I'm in the mood. So that never happened.
No.
So like every milestone, every step that I took in my music journey, it just felt like the next natural step.
Right. So describe Kolkata. I've never been.
It's a vibe.
Like, paint a picture for us.
So I might be a little biased when I'm saying it's a vibe because it's my hometown and whatnot. But so the Bengali people, like my culture basically, we know how to have fun, right? And you know, it's the best food, it's the best street food especially. And then we have so many kinds of music there, like Robindra Sangeet, and then Nojrul Giti, and then we do like all kinds of other music also, like jazz. There is such a huge influence of jazz, blues, and everything. And then there is Bollywood.
Right.
And there are so many forms of dances, also theater. And so there is a very common saying that every Bengali kid would either have to learn dance or singing or art, like something or the
Something
other you have
artistic.
to do.
Yeah.
But I guess that's also a thing every Indian parent do. Like that's a very desi parent thing.
Well, most Indian parents are like, every daughter must know math,
That's also
calculus.
there. No, that is
human
still
anatomy.
there. But
Okay.
in parallel to that, you also need to do something,
Wow.
cultural.
Listen, parallel doesn't exist. Maybe in my
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu world, but maybe in Kolkata it does. When I'm picturing your early days,
Yeah.
And your parents are encouraging you into music,
Forcing.
for correction,
Yeah.
mom and dad.
Yeah.
Why were they forcing you? Are they musicians?
My mom is.
Okay.
My mom sings really well even now. My dad is tone deaf. No clue what's going on. But he's an excellent cheerleader. So he would literally.
You need that.
Exactly. So he would literally sit at the first row of any of my gigs that I had in Kolkata, and he would tell everybody that, that's my daughter. That's my daughter.
That's awesome.
He has no idea what I'm singing or whatever, but he's just so supportive of my mom singing and my singing also. So I think I get it from my mom. It's nice to have a cheerleader around.
And is she classically trained?
So she sings Nojrul Giti, and back
What
in
is
her.
that?
So there was a revolutionary poet, Nojrul Islam, and he wrote basically poems which later on turned into a genre of music, Nojrul Giti. So that's very famous in India. So back in her days, my mom used to do concerts and stuff. Like she was really cool.
Is that something you can do a little bit for us on?
Oh, the Nojrul Giti?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Just give me a little bit so I understand what you.
So this one in specific is like one of my favorites, and it's usually sung in the time of pujas. তোমার দেবালয়ে কি সুখে কি জানি আরতি নৃত্যেরও ভঙ্গিতে সঙ্গীতে সঙ্গীতে অঞ্জলি লমু। Yeah. Wow. I might have messed up the lyrics somewhere, but yeah.
I will not know. Maybe your mom will know. Definitely not your dad.
She's gonna call me like, yeah, you went wrong.
Your dad is gonna be like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter on
exactly.
YouTube.
Yeah. हर मुलाकात पे महसूस यही होता है, हर मुलाकात पे महसूस यही होता है, मुझसे कुछ तेरी नजर पूछ रही हो जैसे जागते जागते एक उम्र कटी हो जैसे जागते जागते एक उम्र कटी हो जैसे जाने बाकी है मगर सांस रुकी हो जैसे
राह चलते हुए अक्सर ये खुमार होता, राह चलते हुए अक्सर ये खुमार होता, वो नजर छुप के मुझे देख रही हो जैसे, वो नजर छुप के मुझे देख रही हो जैसे, वो नजर छुप के मुझे देख रही हो जैसे, तूने आँखों से कोई बात कही हो जैसे, कोई फरियाद तेरे दिल में दबी हो जैसे। कोई फरियाद तेरे दिल में नबी हो जैसे।
This is the definition of culture I talk about with Desi Fest all the time, that the idea of culture is not to hand it down as it was,
Yeah.
and then maintain it the way it was.
Yeah.
You can truly take ownership when you say, give me the formula,
Yep.
but I'm now going to add some ingredients.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And the privilege to do that
Mm.
comes when you take the time you need to respect the art,
Yeah.
and actually learn it, because you can't remix something you
Yeah.
don't respect.
Yeah.
Right? So now looking backwards,
Mm-hmm.
The forced moment turned into, a voluntary passion and love.
Definitely.
How have you been sprinkling new things into this version of you?
So the thing is, I started off with classical, and then when I was in college, I moved on to Bollywood and Western. So back then I was just doing a lot of stuff, right? Because I was the kind of person who would listen to everything, beat Adele, Backstreet Boys, but also like,
Let's draw the line at Backstreet Boys.
yeah,
Oh
but
my gosh.
back in those days.
Backstreet
No,
Boys.
but back in those days.
Okay,
Come on.
fine. Back in those days.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also like, whatever my parents would play on the radio or cassettes, like, retro Bollywood, ghazals. So what I felt is there was a lot of influence from a whole era of musicians, like the 90s.
Right.
And I think the kind of music that I do now has like a lot of influence collectively from all of those songs that I grew up listening to, or the basic urge for redefining or kind of making it my own, so that classical is just not looked at, like Indian classical, that's for a certain section of people, so that it's more accessible, and
Right.
even people who do not sing classical themselves, or do not take a particular interest, even they would be able to relate to that.
Right.
So that is exactly what I am trying to do now. And like, it's a wonderful journey. Right. So the next song is in Bengali, যেটা আমার মাতৃভাষা, and I co-wrote this song with my mom. It went something like, I just knew this one sentence and I really liked that sentence. I was like so proud of that sentence. So I called on my mom. I was like, I need a song written on this. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you definitely have more vocabulary than me. So help me write this. And it was so close to my heart also. So this goes like, Ojana shohore pechi thikana, which kind of translates to that
I found a second home far away from home. And that is when I had just moved to Canada and I was all by myself and I was so homesick. So this song is extremely close to my heart. And this is, again, the first time I'm singing this in front of a crowd. So let's see how this one goes. অজানা শহরে পেয়েছি ঠিকানা অজানা শহরে পেয়েছি ঠিকানা বেঁধেছি পাখির মতো ছোট বাসা অচেনা আকাশে ভোরে রবি ঘুম ভাঙা অজানা শহরে পেয়েছি ঠিকানা রাতে মিঠি মিঠি তারা কুয়াশা চাদরে ঘুম পাড়া ফেলে আসা দিনগুলো অনেক দূরে মনে হয় কত কিছু হারিয়ে যাওয়া কত কিছু পাওয়া অজানা শহরে পেয়েছি ঠিকানা অজানা শহরে পেয়েছি ঠিকানা
So let's play a little musical quiz. Okay.
Okay.
You had an amazing day at work. You're like,
Okay.
I crushed it.
Ugh,
I came home.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna hum a tune. What's the humming the tune? What's in your
Okay. Giare, Gia, Giare.
I don't know
Gia,
how to-
Giare, Giare, Gia, Giare, Giare.
Okay.
Yeah, that one I really like because it has a really good beat. But I also like Maya Maya, which is like also my lucky song. So if I had a super amazing
Maybe
day.
it's a lucky song.
So when I was in college and the whole, freshers competition was going on, and I sang this song and I stood first.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a big deal back then.
That
And
is a big
I
deal
sang this
now.
song, yeah. So, it was on track. And I was like, okay, this could be my song. And then I moved to Bangalore for work. And there was an audition for the office band. So I sang this song. and I was I was
It's a lucky
accepted.
song.
Yeah. And then there was another competition at one of the biggest platforms in Bangalore, and I sang the same song. I was like, you know what? I don't want to use it too much, but I think there might
It's a
be
lucky
some cosmic
song.
thing. And then this year, Desi Fest, right? I started off with that song with my band Naz, and it was a good show.
It was a good hit.
It was a good
It
show.
was Sunshine. Listen,
Yeah.
keep bringing that lucky song
I
with us.
know.
So Kolkata to
Mhm.
Bangalore,
Yeah.
and then from there to Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
you're in Canada,
Yeah.
and now music is different.
Oh, totally.
You don't have the
Yeah.
office band.
No.
You don't have the homies.
No.
You don't have the classical vibes.
Yeah.
What is music like in Canada now?
The first year, I wasn't really desperately looking for people to jam with because I was still settling in. And sadly, by the time I was actually ready to do that, pandemic came, right? And then there was nothing.
Yeah,
And
silence.
and I did manage to jam with a few people, but it just did not click. And sometimes it just gets difficult to find people who would have the same wavelength as you, or who grew up listening the same kind of songs that you did. So that, I would be honest, it was hard for me to find, but thankfully things are opening back again, and yeah, things
So
have
things are
been
starting to
going.
open up.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
people that probably had no idea you were a singer at work,
Yeah.
if they're watching this thing,
Yeah.
or there's people that just landed from
Yeah, yeah,
Bangalore,
yeah,
wherever, and
yeah.
they're like, man, I want to get into the
Yeah.
music scene. There's a preconceived notion from back home. This is how easy things were.
Yeah.
Here, so if you're just getting into the country,
Mhm.
or you're trying to get into the music scene,
Mhm.
now that you've been here for a little
Yeah.
bit, what are some tips for people to maybe fit in and get in?
So there is no tips as such. It's all about
There
meeting
goes the show.
meeting the right people at
You're
the
like-
right time. But when I came here, I had completely lost in touch with music, and that is something very normal that happens because you are leaving behind your whole life and all the people that you knew. And back in India, it's really easy to leave a mark because people listen to that kind of music. Every person, right? But when you come here, it's very natural that you would feel like, oh, you know what, this is not working out. I'm just going to stop practicing. So you cannot leave music at any point, right? And eventually you're going to meet people. And there are so many great organizations. Of course, Desi Fest is one of them, but there are also many other artists that even you guys promote, right? So just even shooting a simple DM sometimes goes a long way. That I really like your work, and if you're up for it, let's just jam. Have your profile ready, maybe, because Instagram is like the easy one, right? So have your profile on Instagram so that people can quickly check out the kind of songs that you do, or you like to sing, and then just connect with people.
Right.
So you need to put that effort.
Right.
So things are not going to come to you.
Yeah.
So
And as immigrants, survival is usually number one.
exactly.
You come
Yeah,
and you got to
yeah,
find a place to
yeah,
live. You got to pay
yeah.
your bills. You got to. So in this survival mindset,
Mhm.
how do you find space for art
So
and music?
I had always made it a point very early on in life that I have to live dual lives. I have no other way out. And this is one balance that I have to strike no matter what. And it's not always easy.
That Arizona sky burning in your eyes. You look at me, and babe, I wanna catch on fire. It's buried in my soul, like California gold. You found the light in me that I couldn't find. So when I'm all shook up and I can't find the words, every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. Lovers in the night, poets try to write don't know how to rhyme, but damn, we try. But all I really know, you're where I wanna go. The part of me that you will never die. Ooh, so when I'm all choked up and I can't find the words, every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. So when I'm all choked up and I can't find the words, every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way.
I always tell all the artists, at the end of the day, being an artist, it is a dual life.
Yeah.
But time is
Yeah.
a factor we tend not to focus on, because you give
Yep.
anything long enough,
Yep.
things happen. Look at you,
Yeah.
from Bangalore to I don't know
I know.
anybody
I
to
know.
oh my gosh, pandemic,
Yes.
to 3 festivals.
Yeah.
And then Sofa Sessions season
I know.
3. And all of it is because it was enough time.
Absolutely.
Time to just do what you got to do. Final question as we
Mhm.
head out. When you think about the next year and a half to 2 years,
Mhm.
is music going to become a bigger thing? Are you working on new projects? Are you focusing on a solo thing and putting some content together? Where is the artist going to be in a year from now?
So I'm doing a lot of things right now.
Yes.
And that's probably a problem with me, right? There are a couple of songs that I am working on. I had written some songs in the past which I never thought were good enough to release, but now I'm being more kind to it. So, I'm thinking of producing them. So, yeah, I'm in the lookout for a good producer for that. And I'm constantly learning. And I know I repeated that a lot of times, but you need to be in that practice.
Mhm.
A year ago, I was not good at piano, right? And now I can read music sheet, like music notations and stuff. It was not easy because you have a job and then you're cooking for yourself and then adulting so bad, failing at it, and then at the end of the year, like, okay, yeah, what is it, C or is it F? You got to do that, but it's also nice when at the end of the day you are like, I can play this.
Yeah,
I
no,
can
it's
actually
incredible,
read
man.
music.
Listen, before we close up for
Yeah.
today, I would love for you to
Mhm.
sing a little bit
Mhm.
of your favorite song. So in 20 years from now,
Yeah.
if somebody watches this on YouTube,
Mhm.
they're going to be like, ooh, what a crazy song, because you sang
Ooh.
it right now. Just a tiny little bit.
I'm gonna go with my lucky song in that case.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's because
It's a
there's a
lucky
lot at
song.
stake. तू नीला समंदर है, तू नीला समंदर है, मैं रेत का साहिल हूँ, मैं रेत का साहिल हूँ, आहोश में तेरी बेदेर से प्यासी हूँ. एक सौदा रात का, एक कोरी चांद की, चाहे तो चूम ले एक कोरी चांद की, एक चांद की कश्ती में चल पारी उतरना है तू हल्के हल्के गहना दरिया ना चल के ये मैया मैया गुलाबी तारे चुनने सारे तुम मैया मैया ओ जैसे मौके पारे दो के दारे दे किनारे चुनने मैया मैया अले अहे 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 ई मैया मैया aleli ala luli ala leli ala eli lei.
Thank you, Nishat. We'll be right back. Go follow her, hit her on a DM, and say what's up, and tell her you saw her on Sofa Sessions Season 3.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, it's bring me out dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See how I live with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, it's bring me out dark. The scars of your love reminds me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we couldn't have it all. Rolling in the deep, you have my heart inside of your hands, and you played it to the beat. Baby, I have no story to be told, but I've worked one on you, and I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Go make a home down there, 'cause my show won't be shared. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we couldn't have it all. Rolling in the deep, you have my heart inside of your hands, and you played it to the beat. We couldn't have it all. Rolling in the deep, you have my heart inside of your hands, and you played it, you played it, you played it, you played it to the beat.
For a year, I depended on my disability benefits. When the insurance company cut me off, they were basically calling me a liar. They wouldn't even listen to my doctor. But then I called Share Lawyers. I got my benefits, and the Share team was kind, respectful, and supportive.
And that's how it should be.
The reviews are real. If you've been denied your long-term disability benefits, Share is there. Call Share Lawyers, 888-225-9020.
It's a wrap. Another episode is in the bags, and it ended with my favorite artist, now two favorite artists, Nishat singing Adele. Listen, this show is all about not only showcasing amazing talent in Canada, but also the journey that they took. And the journey is now possible without talking about the parents, without talking about the community, without talking about their jobs, and all of it creates a complex narrative, which is important for you to appreciate. And the next time you see her on stage, next time she's putting out a flyer for an event, hit that like button, hit that shirt button, get a ticket, support Canadian South Asian artists. This is what we do here at Sofa Sessions. I'm your host, SatsB. We'll be back for another episode shortly. Hit subscribe and follow along.